In this video, I'm going to share 2 extremely concrete methods that you can steal for you to earn a 98% approval rating in whatever you are organizing, hosting, and for whoever you're gathering. When I go and give a keynote and they send me back all the survey results, I've stopped looking at them. And here's why. Thumbs up, best professional development I ever had, best speaker I've ever listened to.
Before you leave, I just have to say, I've heard things like this: the best keynote we ever had, best opening session we ever had, the most fun I've had in an opening session. I really enjoyed it, so we really got a lot out of what you did.
Dude, bring it in, man. I love it. I love it. Oh, thank you for sharing that.
That's what we figured was going to happen, right? That was what we thought. So.
I'm taking all. Take it.
Are you? Yeah, take it. And it really was great.
And that's all really great, inflates my head, and then I go home and change a dirty diaper and take out the trash, because we're all human and put our pants on one leg at a time. In this video, I want to teach you, regardless of what you're leading, hosting, etc., to earn a 98% plus approval rating over and over and over and over again. Because this is really useful. At this point now, if somebody reaches out and says, hey, we're having this huge conference, we'd love for you to speak. As a speaker, I'm just a flight risk, right? An event organizer does not want to put a speaker on stage that's going to make them look bad or their organization look bad. And so it's great risk mitigation for me to be able to say, even before I've done the event, I can guarantee you that you're going to get a 98% plus approval rating and your post-event scores are going to look awesome. Quick note for the 2%. I figure 2 out of every 100 people are just like really having a bad day. And there's some folks that I think no matter what you say or no matter what you do, they will have their arms crossed so tightly. They've already decided to have a bad experience before you ever showed up, before your event ever crossed their path, etc. And so for me, I used to let that really distract me. I used to focus all of my time and effort on the 2%. And one of the ways that I've gotten 98% plus approval rating over and over is by not focusing on those people and letting them make their choice and focusing on the ones that are there to get something, because my delivery ends up getting way better when I focus on the people who are getting lots out. And perhaps somewhat ironically, it ends up winning over a bunch of folks that tend to be pretty arms crossed. Here's how I do it. I design for contribution, not consumption. When you compete and design your gatherings, meetings, events for consumption, you actually force people into one of a couple roles. Either they just consume it or they critique it. So when you watch a movie, the producer doesn't reach through Netflix and say, so what would you change about this scene? You just consume it and then you say, I like that scene, I don't like that scene, I like this movie, I don't like this movie. When people are in the role of consumer, they can only either just take it in passively or critique it. As soon as I say, what would you do to change this scene? I'm inviting their contribution and connecting with the audience, and who in their right mind is going to give a low approval rating to their own ideas? And so get a group talking, get a group contributing, sharing, adding on, and all of a sudden now my keynotes are 60% the group connecting and contributing ideas to each other. And so the content is the collective wisdom in the room being exchanged, and I get to add butter to the popcorn from stage. Do you see the difference? A practical check to see if your gathering is designed for contribution or consumption is pull out your agenda, whether you got one or not, and take a highlighter and highlight all the times where you're going to invite everybody else to participate. And if there's not a lot of highlights, I can guarantee you that you're in a high risk situation as far as approval rating goes, because you're pushing people to just passively consume or critique. I think Priya Parker's been on this kick lately of magical questions. And I think this method that she articulates is a perfect example of why designing for contribution, when it's done well, can earn such high happiness scores. So her definition of a magical question is a question that everybody wants to share their answer to, and they want to hear everybody else's answer. So like a lousy icebreaker question is like, go around and share an interesting fun fact about yourself. It's lousy partially because it's just tired, partially because it's an introvert's nightmare. Not everybody wants to share that. Some people are a little overexcited to share it. And so a magical question is something that everybody wants to share and wants to hear everybody's answers. For example, I've used this method and called it the gold mine of goodness. So in connection before content, if I'm going to send people into breakouts, my philosophy is if I'm going to send you out into a breakout with 2 other people, groups of 3, I want you to come back at least 2 perspectives smarter, if not more. So leave with your current level of intelligence and come back smarter. For me, that framing, and the way that I frame this is the gold mine of goodness. So imagine framing a group discussion like this. I know you're a really busy group. You're also a really smart group. You've all figured out ways to maximize your time and be a bit more productive and lower stress levels. And so in these breakouts, can you just share with your group one tool, strategy, habit, or idea that has actually been helping you in the last 6 months save time? I'll see you back in 12 minutes. So do you realize, like, everybody definitely wants to hear answers to that. If you want to ensure that it's magical, I think one secret to inviting people to a place where they want to share is to give them a little bit of thinking time. So extroverts might have an answer right away. Some folks value a little bit of time to contemplate. And so to say, before I send you out into these breakouts, just take the next 60 seconds and think about your own response. Kind of rewind the tape through the last 6 months. What's genuinely been useful to you? Once you got it, head into your small group. So you see how I just kind of slowed down the pace? And my intent in that is taking the pressure off of a group, kind of leaning on the brainstorming 101, which is brainstorm alone first and together second. So come up with your own ideas in solitude and then bring it to the group and share. That little productive silence can have a massive impact on a group's contribution. If you like this video, you will be obsessed with the concept of the Connector Summit. If it is not evident, I am on a mission to redesign the world for contribution and connection rather than just consumption. There are lots of people paid lots of money to keep us consuming as much as possible. And I'm just simply not interested in participating in that world. And it's one of the reasons that I created the Connector Summit, this gathering of a whole bunch of people whose their main jobs involve gathering groups of people. So from trainers, facilitators, organizers, corporate trainers, event organizers, the Connector Summit, that happens every December, is intended to be a gathering of all of these professional connectors to unpack their answers to lots of magical questions, to learn and apply some of these ideas. And I would just really love to invite you to come and contribute and connect and expand your network with some really brilliant, smart, intelligent, fun, uplifting people in December. And I'm assuming there's a link below somewhere to that. Goodbye.